Well, thing is, I've made that flavor before myself, and I was really happy to find that someone else had managed to do that, and I was also ecstatic to have the chance to scurry over to Pete and say, "What is this?" And I got him to taste it for me and tell me about it, so... That was probably one of the best, the worst tasting thing was probably one of the best things I could have tasted.
We all need a pocket Pete to carry around with us so we can, pull him out and go, taste this and tell me what that is, because I can't figure it out.
Well, I think I was actually at table with Susan when I was doing that mostly, because there was one round that we were doing that had quite a few faults in it, and I'm like, no, don't tip that one out. Give it.
Well, yeah, I mean, tasting things that have gone wrong is just as important as tasting things that have gone right, even though tasting things that have gone right is far more enjoyable.
Far more enjoyable, yeah. Well, and honestly...
The learning experience, like, you can have someone describe something as mousy and not really know what it means until you've tasted it.
Yeah.
That was the word of the week, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was something I've chased for years, and I actually discovered that finally someone who could tell me what it was here in Australia. So that would have been one of my big things, and I'm quite sensitive to it. But hey, did we, just as a side note, did we ask Susan and Bob what they're drinking?
No, we didn't.
About what?
What are you drinking, Susan and Bob?
What am I drinking? My pineapple chipotle.
Ooh, I gotta get some of that when I come by.
I'm just having a cup of tea. I got to get up at 5 tomorrow to go to bed.
Oh, you got to be good, huh?
No. I work for a railroad, so they really don't. They really frown upon you coming in smelling like what you had last night.
Yeah, I can see where that would be a problem. It's honey, really. It's just honey.
Good Monday to Friday, and then the devil horns come out Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
They frown on it so badly over here. They breath test you every morning, Bob. So you've probably got it easy.
No, if they even suspect you, you're going. If you're going in for, they'll hold you.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's a chance they can't afford to take the chance.
No, you can't. I'm on a train with 700 people. I can't. I'm a train conductor. I can't do it.
I know. Yeah. No, you got people's lives in your hands. You can't allow that to impair anything.
No, there's nope. Not during the week.
Yeah, totally get that. Now I'm wondering if I rode you. Are you like in the city train, or are you on Amtrak trains?
Yes, I go Metro North.
Ah, okay. So I've probably not been there.
We go north of New York City.
Okay.
Into Westchester County, Putnam, Dutchess, up to New Haven, and I go in and out of New York City a couple times a day.
Okay. So Susan, what did you want to see there that you didn't see this year?
What was that?
What did you want to see?
What did I?
Give her too much pineapple chipotle, and she's not listening anymore.
You did squelch out for a second.
Did I squelch out? Oh, okay. All right.
You actually broke up a bit there, Vicky.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll do it.
What did I want to see that I didn't? I don't know. That's really hard to say. The conference this year was phenomenal. I would want to see less of the, because that was the thing. We had the gentleman that did the pot mead.
Mm-hmm.
But he was also a phenomenal, very well-known beekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Having him talk on different honey varietals would have been a phenomenal talk.
Yeah.
Whereas he did this weird thing on making honey out of pot, which none of us are ever going to use. So that to me was kind of interesting in a way, but to me kind of useless. I would have liked to have seen somebody talk on different honey varietals, that type of thing. That could have, how to work with different ones. Pardon me?
Maybe we get a representative from Dutch Gold next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
And you know what? You have them bring in all their varietals. We can do a honey tasting.
Oh my God, I'd pay for that.
I know, right?
And if we want, we can actually have somebody brew, 3 gallons of each varietal. And then we can all put the varietal next to the honey and taste it. and you could know what the flavor
that would be
profile
cool.
is going to be.
That would be cool, yeah. I like that. That's a really
great.
good idea.
And you know what? It's not going to cost that much.
You're getting each person to do one batch, one
varietal.
Well,
basically,
and nobody would have to do too much of anything.
I think it would have to be
I did a talk on that. I did a talk like that exact thing.
Did you?
At the National Homebrewers Conference in 2010,
where
I brewed up 6 different batches and had the honey there, so you could taste the honey with the different meads.
You know what you're going to be doing. You know what you're going to be doing next year, right?
Having them a little too acidic, so it actually even worked into a good demonstration of how you could actually take acid and add a little bit more sweetness to it. Because I'd have them take and taste their honey and then swirl just a little bit in their mead at the same time, and they could see how it all changed.
Cool.
It worked out to be a good talk, although that part was not planned.
but you turned it around.
Mhm.
Yeah, that would actually be a really good one, and I like the idea of getting one of the big honey providers to come in and talk about their varietals, assuming they've got somebody there who's really into the actual varietal itself. You know.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are.
Well, get Harris.
Get Amina to come in because she's got a honey company. She could talk about it.
Yeah, well, and she knows all of it, and she loves coming to those events. She'd be the perfect speaker for that.
She really would. Yeah.
Yeah, I gave her a tasting of Australian honeys, and I really enjoyed hearing what she had to say and the stuff that she could get out of there that I could barely even perceive. But
yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, that I knew were later on in the mead. Like, and I'm like, you're right, because it comes out in the mead, but I can't taste it in the honey. How can you taste that? So,
yeah.
Years of experience.
Mm-hmm. John's come in to rescue the secretary dog who doesn't want to go. She's like, no, Dad, I have to help Mom. Don't make me go. He's taking the dogs outside. She sits on the couch and she watches and, does her little secretary dog job, which is to watch. And to come in for pets if I look like I'm lonely or something,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I thought it went, granted, I was the one who pulled out, who was managing the AMMA conference, but I was terrified the whole thing was going to come down around my ears at some point. And the others saw me, and I was basically like a nutbag the whole day. So stressed, I'm amazed I didn't have a heart attack,
You just need to ask people or assign people on the board or something and say, okay, I need you to help do this. Taking money, collecting money.
Oh, no. I'm going to have, we will have volunteers next year, and they won't be the Got Me Live folks because they really didn't get to see the conference because they were so diligently helping out on the tables, and I felt awful about that. So, yeah, next year you guys are going to be free and loose to do what you want, and I'm just going to get some folks to volunteer, and I'm going to get enough of them so they can each have like a 2-hour shift and it'll all be good. So that way nobody has to miss the whole thing. Yeah, nobody has to miss the whole thing.
And have them volunteer on the shift so they know the schedule of the speakers ahead of time so that it's one they're maybe less interested in or something like that.
Yeah, we'll have to play with that and see what we can do. But yeah, it definitely needs to be more of that, so all in all, though, I was pleased with the way it came off.
With the jet lag.
Yeah, all you had to do was sit there and just kind of take money.
Look pretty, yeah.
Yeah, and say no worries once in a while and get people to ask you if you're from Australia.
Now, what I want to know is just back onto tasting meads in the party room afterwards and all that. Some of the best meads, and I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ear or anything like that, but some of the best meads I had in that party were made by you, Bob. And I want to know, why don't you enter the competition?
Because it doesn't really mean much to me. It means more to me for you to tell me that it was a great mead, and for me to send it off from some judge I've never seen before, who never, the Mesa Cup is different. I made that seaweed mead that everybody talked about. I sent that to the last competition I went into about 4 years ago. I got a 23.
Yeah.
And Someone wrote, your honey tastes like it's blended.
With what?
I can almost guarantee. You never know what people say. And so I wrote them a nice email, and I said, well, I'm probably the only beekeeper who entered the competition. All my honey is from my own beehives.
You get that. You get those comments from people that have no clue about anything, apparently. Because even on the commercial side, my lemon mead is 100% lemon zest and juice, and I got someone saying that I used extract.
Yeah.
Judging it. It's like, I
there's always somebody.
Yeah. Well,
and don't make an assumption when it's put down there as zest and juice. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But the ribbons and medals.
But I'm not gonna get mad about it. It's like it is what it is. When you're entering a competition, it's a crapshoot. But when you win, it's pretty cool.
Yes.
I think if I were going pro, I'd be more tempted to be entering stuff, especially if I wanted, an informed opinion on how well I'm doing with it, because, all your friends say it tastes amazing and they drink it all on you. But, at this point in my mead making, I don't think I'm really interested in entering either, just because I'm not consistent enough yet. So, even if I did have...
Once you're pro, you enter, it's nice to have those medals to hang up on the wall.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Before you enter, you already know what's selling well and what isn't.
Okay,
so your customers are telling you what is good. For those of us that are those people that are just going pro, probably getting those medals ahead of time really does help their business early on. Because, you have them even as a pro mead maker, as a home mead maker, if you won a lot of medals in a home competition, it definitely stands out when you're just starting out. People will look at your stuff
I couldn't agree more.
Be a little more.
I don't have any plans to go pro, so they really don't mean much to me.
Yeah, the last one I entered was the original Mazer Cup in Ann Arbor, when Ken and McConnell and them were running it, and that was pretty much my very first mead, and I got really great feedback, improved it, and then never entered again because as fast as I could bottle it, my friends were like, "Can I have some of that?" So I never really got around to entering again. And then when we started the new version of the Mazer Cup, I was on the board and didn't think, thought that was a conflict of interest. Felt like it was. For me, it was. I don't care what anybody else thought. I thought it was a conflict, so I didn't enter. And then when I stepped off, since I got off the board, I haven't really made a lot of mead because I've been so busy with other things. So, don't really have anything to enter. Except those really awful freezer saver meads that poor things got left to die a horrible ignominious death when I went to my daughter's in Washington, and I came back and they're like, "Oh my God, yeah, I did. They're horrible." The only reason they're not down the sink is because I've always had trouble dumping even a horrible mead down the sink because I just have trouble with that. So
5 years from now, it might be phenomenal.
Well, that's what I figure. It can't hurt to I got to look and see what my carboy stash looks like, but I think I could actually spare these, and what I might do is just rack it all. There's 2 of them, and they're in 4 containers because when they were fermenting, they were bubbling over the top. But get them all racked, and by the time I rack off all the sludge, they'll probably fit in one carboy, and just cork it and wrap it in saran wrap and let it sit like I did the first one and see if anything happens. I mean, if nothing else, it's a good exercise in aging and how it might change a mead.
Yeah. 7 years and waiting for some of mine.
Yeah. AJ's got one. Yeah. That's how old's your oldest one, AJ?
I think I made it in 2004.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my high bush cranberry pucker puss. I'm still waiting for more tannins to drop out of it so that it tastes as good as it smells, because it smells fantastic. But I'm now finally at the point where I can take a sip of it without doing a spit take.
Man.
But that one's been a long time in coming, and every time I rack it and clean the carboy, it's red because of the tannins coming out of it. But it's coming along. I'm just being patient.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Worst that can happen
is
you have
to... I'm moving on to my orange spice mead now.
Oh, yeah? Will it be done by the time I get there?
Pineapple Chipotle. Oh no, that's what I'm drinking now.
Oh,